When we first begin to explore Stoicism, we need to start with an understanding of what is within our control and what is not. That's the very basic starting point, because if we can't make the distinction between what is ours to deal with and what we must just accept, frankly, we're on a hiding to nothing. That's why Epictetus, in his handbook, the Enchiridion, begins with exactly this point, that some things are within our control and some things are not. The things within our control are very simple. We can control ourselves. And largely that's it. We can control our thoughts with practice, our feelings, our behaviours, and to a lesser extent our bodies. We can't necessarily control illness, although we might be able to influence it somewhat, but we can control what we do, what we think, what we feel, and our general state of health and fitness. That's pretty much it. The reason that Stoics labour upon this point is because if we are to exist in a way that's true to our nature, if we're going to lead the natural life, if we're going to strive towards becoming a sage, in other words, then we need to stop wasting time and energy and emotional effort on those things that we can't influence anyway. For example, it may be that you're concerned about the past. Well, okay, regret is fine. But understand that the past can't be changed. It's a fact. And one of the big distinctions in Stoicism is the distinction between a fact and a problem. Problems can be solved. Facts need to be accepted. So we accept the past because we can't change the past. It's a fact. There may be a problem related to how we feel about the past, or how others are going to react to what we did in the past, and they're problems we may be able to solve. But there's very little point in spending endless hours regretting the fact of the past, because we can do nothing to change it. It's not ours anymore. That moment is gone. So if, for example, you regret something that happened in the past, identify the real problem, which is what you can do either to change your behaviour in the future, or by changing your behaviour to influence the way that others will treat you in the future, how they will respond to what you previously did. Make an apology, for example. Try to put things right. Let people know that you intend to behave differently next time, and then do so. Other things we can't control would be death. Seneca, in many of his letters, which we will undoubtedly touch upon, talks about the principle of returning, of giving back. He talks about the gods. He will say that the gods gave you your spouse, your property, your health, whatever it may be, and the gods have taken it back. Now, personally, I don't buy that stuff about gods, but I do accept that there is a reality in this world, and reality, the universe, whatever you choose to decide to call it, seems capricious. Sometimes we do well, sometimes we do poorly. Either way, there is no point in spending our energies worrying about the things we cannot change, and we cannot necessarily change the capriciousness of fortune. What we can do is work to make our future better, but still with the understanding that, well, to put it into modern terms, shit happens. So the first thing we do is we understand the difference between what we can and can't control, problems, facts. In modern CBT, we talk about the spheres of influence. There are some things which we can control, there are some things we can influence, and there are some things which merely interest us. Our task is always to focus on the things we can control so that we can exert an influence, but not to worry about the fact we can't control other people, the past, the weather, the vagaries of fortune. That's the first principle. Understand what is and is not within our control, and understand the difference between problems and facts. I'm Stuart Sorensen. You can find me at www.mindthecaretraining.com. And please, if you think you may find Stoicism an interesting topic to understand, subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any of this series as it develops. Thank you very much.